Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, home of the Oakland Raiders, but today, home to the start of another exciting college football season as we are ready to crank it up here in Vegas in the Las Vegas Kickoff Classic. A top 25 showdown coming up, two of college football's premier teams preparing to duke it out right here on this field. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on the 20th ranked team in the land, the Washington Huskies. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. LSU ready to kick it away to get things started. Fielded in the end zone. It's Rasmussen. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Here comes the offense on first down. The lone back's got it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. People like to say conference affiliation doesn't matter. But you get the SEC against the Big Ten, and there's no denying there's a little extra juice in the building.
Definitely extra juice. The best 2 conferences, the biggest conferences, Palmer. Everybody talks about these being the power brokers and deciding the future of college football. So, yes, it matters.
A lot of blue bloods in both conferences, David. You're right. I think it's something players are also very aware of, too, is having that conference pride, wanting to win this game, representing the rest of the teams in their conference.
That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. To the air, it's Foster. He's right on target. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way to deciding who wins it.
Yep. No. Yeah.
Guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. He's got his man, makes the grab, and he'll make his way.
I heard you.
On pace for success.
Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Moves around to clear up the vision. Forced to just throw it away on 3rd down, and now they face 4th.
Well, it's 3rd and short. They're throwing for it. They just can't come up with that one. Setting up a big decision now for the head coach on 4th down.
Washington sends out the punt team. They'll look to pin him deep. On the return, it's Douglas. Found a little running room on that one. Picked up some nice blocks before he's run out of bounds. Line gets set, first down. To the ground with the back. Just plowing down the field. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop.
And this guy is elite. There's a reason why he starts in this offense. You just saw the speed and the open field running ability on that last play, and this is a guy that is going to be key to the...
He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And is knocked away and incomplete. The defensive back staying in phase and batting it away. Second down coming up. The inside handoff. They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Fires to the right. And it's picked off. Bringing it back. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
What a nice catch by the defensive back. Listen, a lot of times you see DBs get in position to make plays, but there's a reason they play DB and not wide receiver. Great job finishing the interception, catching the ball, making a big play.
They'll try the run. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. To throw, it's Foster. Makes the grab on the left. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
And a great job by the QB, finding the running back, get into the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
The give on the inside. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. They're trying to get to him. Trying to escape and get it himself. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do? Go get some yardage. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
The give to the back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
Hey, 5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest, pound that rock.
They'll leave it with him. Stop is made almost immediately. Give him 1 to the 23. Here they come up to the 23-yard line, not thinking field goal, wanting to convert this 3rd and short. Quarterback checking off. Looking to pass. It's Foster. Throws to the tight end. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. He needs to make sure those mechanics are pure from the right hash and 40 yards away. Absolute shame. Missed it. Guys, after the miss, no change in the score. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him. Maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Linebacker shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. He hurls one deep down the left side. And he's got it inside the 25. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. After a play like that, you have to get it in the end zone on this drive. Defense in press coverage. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. He wants it all. And good coverage and better hands by the defender to knock it down in the end zone.
No rest for the wicked for this offense. They are taking shots. You just saw a big explosive play on the previous one, and right away they get back to the line of scrimmage, and they throw it in the end zone. They have got this defense on their heels.
The running back has it. Noses his way forward, maybe gets one. They'll mark it at the 18.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On third down, going up top. Pocket starts to collapse. Still working. And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter. They'll line up for the field goal try as we start the second quarter. The holder will kneel at the 24, a 34-yarder coming from the right hash. No good. Kicker couldn't quite get it through, and the scoreboard remains the same. Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. We talk about settling for points, but sometimes when you have to settle for nothing, David, it can be demoralizing.
Yeah, and it can definitely be frustrating. And I think it leads you to say maybe I can go for it more. But, Jesse, I think this offense just needs to put another drive together and just finish stronger.
Yeah, and be a little bit less predictable, too, especially as they get closer and closer down to the end zone.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. It's Foster. Trying to beat the D deep. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down.
And as an offense, you want to stay aggressive. You want to keep calling these downfield shots. I know you didn't complete that one, but you want to send a clear message. You're trying to take the top off this defense. You keep calling downfield shots. You soften up the coverage. You get those safeties playing deep. That's going to open up your running game later on.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. It's caught. A quick tackle made, and he's got plenty for the first down. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up one to the 35.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
He wants to throw here on second down. Fires to the wideout. And the ball is picked off. Would have loved to have gotten a big return out of that one, but they'll take it first down at the 40.
I tell you what, as a quarterback, you got to have a short memory. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be asked to do a lot, and he throws his first career interception. If I'm the coach on the sideline, listen, I'm bringing him over. This ain't going to be your last, big fella. Like, you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. Put it behind you. Next play.
Grabbed in the middle. It's Douglas. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You can tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
On second down, just keeps firing. It's caught downfield. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. Touchdown LSU! Made the grab and finished the deal in the end zone.
And this offense gets on the board, and the first passing touchdown of the season, and I feel pretty confident saying the first of many. This offense looks like they're in a good rhythm, and this passing attack's going to be hard to stop.
Oh, he's going to go for the return. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this route.
And how about that catch and run? So dangerous, this guy. Productive pass offense for the Huskies, and they've had a long line of quarterbacks who've gone on to the pros.
Yeah, a lot of guys that you can think of. Warren Moon obviously was so dynamic, so good, but guys that were surgical, guys that read the defenses, made the decision, made big plays. That's what the Husky fans want to see.
And the quarterback is snowed under. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the...
Fires and picked off. Takes it the other way. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make?
And it's just plowing ahead. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, LSU!
And this offense is firing on all cylinders right now. Starting the year, game 1, creating a little bit of a pad and separation. possession at the end of this first half, and you can see why so many people are really excited about this offense this season.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Arkansas took care of business and left little doubt in doing so. And for a program that's won double-digit conference titles between the SEC and the old Southwest Conference, this is big time. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But, boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Looking to throw, it's Foster. He lobs one high down the left side. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down.
It's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
They make the stop as he gets it inside the 30 to the 28, a gain of 4.
Nice run there on first down. You know this is a running back that gets better as the game goes on. So they're going to want to make sure they keep feeding him the football and let him get lathered up.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Spits it out to the back. Zings it complete to the right. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job of it.
The Huskies have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. 2nd and goal coming up. Quarterback sneaking his way, tunneling and burrowing into the line. Wedges, pushes, and he's over and in for the touchdown. Getting set for the point after. Oh, they blocked the extra point. He's got it, and he can go with it.
Talk about being opportunistic as a defense. They pride themselves on taking the football away, and here they are, 3 turnovers on 3 consecutive drives, 2 picks, and now a fumble.
He'll bring it out. It's Madden. Nothing wrong with the touchback, and they wish they had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They took their time out of the gate, but now starting to try to take control of this game on offense here in the second. He's going to let one fly down the middle. It's complete. A huge pickup. He's loose down the middle. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tigers!
There's usually 2 different thought processes when I'm backed up towards my own goal line. Run it, create more space, or take a big shot and try to make a big play. And did this offense ever make a big play? 90-plus yard touchdown. That is how you do it.
Fair catch, called for and made. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. They'll throw it on first down. They're bringing heat. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. After the misfire, it's second down. Quarterback will audible. Back to pass, it's Foster. Trying to get to him. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
Well, quarterback went down behind center pretty quick that time, and it makes you wonder as a play caller, against this pass rush, do you start thinking about maybe rolling your quarterback out and changing the launch point?
Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. Coming after him. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And he throws another interception, his third one of the night. Got room on the return. Running inside the 20. And a sensational return, and they finally stop him inside the 15.
I tell you what, it puts you in a tough position when you're backed up inside your own 20 trying to come out. But when you're a defense and you can force a turnover and you already set your offense up in scoring position, they are going to be extremely happy, and that offensive coordinator is going to look extremely smart.
Comes out throwing on first down. Headed to the end zone. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
These guys aren't human either. I mean, they got to survey the field, throw the football, make deep passes, and then
quarterback sneak for the touchdown.
I love it. Forget all the cute stuff. It's first and goal. I'm trying to get 6. Nice job. Just get the quarterback under center. Let us push him into the end zone and get the touchdown.
And the kick is good, but there is a penalty flag because he paid for making that kick. I think they're going to get him for roughing the kicker. The kickoff team out there to boot it away and 15 yards farther up the field after the roughing the kicker penalty. Not going to give him a chance to make a play as they boot that thing through the end zone. The offense set for a first down play. Looking to move it through the air. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. Dropping back, it's Foster. Lets it go. Got his man all by himself. And he's brought down after a huge completion. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. They just dialed up one big play. Let's see if they've got another one on 1st and 10 from the 35. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. They'll move it back, and it's 1st and 15 for this offense. From the gun, he'll try to throw. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this guy's been beat like a drum. He's been hit, sacked a bunch of times already, and another hit right here. I'm literally looking at my offensive line to be like, dude, I need some more time. You got to protect me better than this. Give me a chance to complete some passes.
On 2nd down, wants to throw. He'll take a shot. And he's got it. Touchdown, Washington.
job getting the passing game going. This is big, man. Going into the half, and listen, I know you're trailing, but build some momentum. Maybe this second half we keep airing the football out, cutting into this deficit, and who knows what the heck will happen.
The extra point is good, and they cut it to a 28-13 game. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. Coming out with it, it's Madden. He's got a lot of confidence to bring that ball out of the end zone, but it didn't work out this time, out of bounds at the 16. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really, Jesse, how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You have got to be so smart if you're going to be aggressive with your decision-making.
Wide receiver now comes in motion. Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. Quarterback on the move, still looking. Got him downfield. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Defense backing up, trying to keep everything in front. Quickly to the tight end. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
It must be nice for this quarterback knowing he's got this type of athlete playing the tight end position. That can work the middle of the field for him. He's a guy who can stretch it vertically as well, but this is a guy the QB will look for early and often in this game.
And they got him. He'll get him down for the sack. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Washington about to boot it deep to start things in the second half. Fielded in the end zone, it's Madden. Nothing wrong with the touchback, and they wish they had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Here comes the option. The pitch. Slams his way forward. He'll get 3 out to the 11.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
On second down, looking to throw. Fires to the middle. Incomplete. He had to... Before he wanted to, the defense put the heat on.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
A third and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. He'll try to do it himself. Open space at the 25. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
And man, how tough is this guy to defend? He drops back, everything tells you pass, and then he scrambles and gets the first down. Just so hard to defend.
He'll push his way out to the 30, a pickup of 3.
And it's just simple. Simple first down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. From the gun, the running back has it. Stopped after a pickup of 4. Good run to get it out to the 34.
I think they called that knowing they weren't going to hit a home run. So why would you call it that? Well, you call it so third down becomes an easier down. It's not third and long where I have to pass the football. Now all options on the table.
It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. They'll try to bully their way for the first. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
I don't know if this is the time for this type of risk. Offense going for it inside its own 40. And the incomplete pass, they roll the dice. Snake eyes.
That's a gutsy call. And I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled, you realize what's going on. Now, I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
And it's his 4th interception of the game. Didn't get a chance to show off those running skills, but he gives them the ball at the 29-yard line.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
Here's the handoff. Cross the 30 out to the 33 and gains 4 on the play.
You know, it's so important for offenses to want to keep third downs manageable. The way you do that is by having success like that, running the football on first down.
One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35. These are the types of plays where offenses impose their will. 3rd and short from the 45. The give to the tailback. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense when you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. And then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job in the base defense making a play.
You know, punt cover teams have a tough job because oftentimes they've got to tackle a guy out in the open field and a really good one at that. But how about their ability to get to the returner and not just get the tackle, but create the takeaway? That is a massive play on special teams.
The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
That's a great individual play, and I love cornerbacks that don't just take pride in covering guys. I like guys that like to put their face in the fan and affect the running game. This dude is physical, and he impacts the defense because of it.
And those guys are really hard to find. A lot of corners, they're smaller. They don't want any part of the physical run game. Nice job sticking his face in there, setting the edge, making the tackle.
And the defense gets to the quarterback. And no shortage of the big boys coming out of Baton Rouge as LSU's defense in the backfield again.
Yeah, you talk about tall, long, athletic, guys that get after the quarterback, LSU, they typically have a lot of those guys. That's a really fun thing to have when you're a defensive coordinator.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. On 3rd and long, he'll need to push it downfield. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. Second time today they've been forced to punt. He'll bring it back. It's Douglas. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right?
And he's running in the open. At the 20. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. See if they can get it done on 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the right here and try to get it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers! And the route is on.
Well, this offense said they wanted to start the year all gas and no brakes, and that's exactly what this game has shown. From the very opening whistle, this offense has been in sync. They've been explosive. Defense has had no answer for them. This unit is going to give teams problems because of their playmaking ability all year long.
He'll bring it out. It's Rasmussen. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Cole.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Dialing up a 2nd down pass play. Gonna take a shot at this DB. He's got it downfield for a huge gain.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. 3rd down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. And the Huskies pick up the 1st down.
Well, there we go. We finally see some life in this offense running the football. A nice game to pick up the 1st down. Got to get more of that going moving forward because they have not run it.
Getting some heat. Escapes trouble. And the ball's on the ground. Now look what I found. I'd say that's a stroke of good fortune. The offense keeps it.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
Looking to pass on 2nd down. Pressure coming. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming, and there it is. Now on 3rd down for this offense. Quarterback checking the play. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He makes the grab. At the 20, he's got space. And oh, no, he loses the ball after the huge gain. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Washington.
Holy cow, how about that? You think he's going in for the score. It looks like he's going to get it. He fumbles the football. Who's going to get it? Johnny on the spot. The offense finds the football, lands on it, and gets the touchdown.
Trying to punch it in. He stopped short on the two-point conversion attempt. They went right back to the well with the man who scored the touchdown, but he couldn't get it in for the two. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll bring it out. It's Madden. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Paul.
Yeah, and you got me searching for it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he's brought down after the pick, but not before putting his offense in business.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
Smashes ahead. Touchdown, Huskies. And they take it in for 6 more points. They'll line up to go for 2. Snapped it in the shotgun. Feeling some heat. And he'll just get rid of that one.
Well, head coach obviously decided it was best to go for 2 points right there. They didn't get it, and you just wonder if chasing the points is going to hurt this team later in the game.
Oh, he's going to take a chance. He only needs a sliver of daylight. First snap of this drive will come from their own 32. Looking for a crease. It's Hawkins. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. The give to the back. Just ran him over. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
Yeah, and that's a great job by this offense. And I'll tell you what, fourth quarter, you have the lead. That's exactly what you want to do. Lean on these guys, run the football, eat that clock.
Takes a hit as he fires. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. On third and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
And that's a nice stop by this defense. Nice job stopping the run, setting up fourth and inches. Listen, this is a no-brainer. If I can't get inches, I don't deserve to win. I'm coming downhill. I'm playing physical. I'm picking my play, whether it's quarterback sneak, fullback dive, whatever it is that we do great, and I'm going to get my inches.
At the 35, he's open. Got a lot of running room. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Rasmussen. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
Well, trailing this much in the fourth quarter, the offense is looking for an explosive play to try to ignite them and get them back in this one, but nothing doing. Nice job in coverage.
Didn't connect last time. Let's see if they throw it again on second down. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are. You're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back.
He'll take the deep shot. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down.
At this point in the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. Fourth down attempt coming. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He'll take another shot here. And it's incomplete. The long pass on fourth down is to no avail.
And I get it. At this point in the second half, dude, we got to make something happen. We haven't been good enough. We got to score a lot of points and quickly. You got to be aggressive. They tried. They failed again. This game.
Touchdown, Tigers! And the punishment has been extended. Well, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3. 3 is the magic number for touchdowns.
Yeah, it's as easy as ABC. Goodness gracious. He's been getting whatever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. I want to change something up or maybe focus on that guy that's getting the football a lot and scoring.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. The Coyotes were far from the friendly confines of home, but were able to pull out a narrow victory in one of the biggest upsets of this college football season. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, but I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game on the left. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. Wide receiver shows motion. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
This has been a rough night for this offensive line. Man, they have not protected their quarterback. Everything starts with the big guys up front. That's their 5th sack given up of the game.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. On the return, it's Douglas. Looking for running room, he'll get it to the 43-yard line before he stopped. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. He now has 110 yards on the ground, and with that run,